You've probably seen it, or at least heard of it. The opera singer breaking a glass with their voice. It's pretty hard to do. You have to have a mix of the right note, volume, and sustain, and I ain't no singer. See how that straw is jumping around inside the glass? That means I was hitting the right note. The resonance was there, I just didn't have the volume or the sustain. But it is possible to break a glass with sound, and that got me thinking, could I do it with a guitar? I did some research and it seems that only 3 people, or entities, tried this, and all 3 of them failed. We had a guitar YouTuber, a plug-in company, and status quo. 2 out of the 3 accepted defeat gracefully. Quo 100% faked breaking the glass for TV though. That glass was not broken with sound, it was impacted with something at speed. So, if we can do it, it'll be a world first. The reason that everybody who tried this failed is pretty simple. The guitar is one of the worst instruments to try do this on. Remember, we need 3 things. Volume. That's easy enough to cover with the right amplifier. We also need the right note, and that's going to be a little bit harder. Every glass is going to have a different note that it resonates at. And they're not going to be perfect pitch either. Guitars are fretted, so simply playing one fretted note might be close, but not close enough. We need to be exact on the pitch. So we're going to do 2 things. We're going to tune the string to the pitch of the glass, and then we're going to make use of the Floyd Rose bridge to alter that note on the fly, just to get exactly where we need to go. Once we see the straw moving in the glass, we know we're on the right pitch. And the last thing we need is what the others didn't have. Sustain. To get a note to sustain on the guitar, you have to do one of 2 things. You either have to keep hitting that note with your guitar pick, and that's going to change the pitch slightly every hit, or you're going to have to use vibrato. Which is basically wobbling the string. It'll make your guitar sustain for much longer, but it'll also change the pitch of the string, which is the exact opposite of what we want. We need to be exact and consistent on one note. We could use a compressor pedal to add maybe 2 seconds longer sustain, but that just isn't enough. We need to be sustaining for a long period of time. So, secret weapon time. This guitar has a Sustaniac pickup system in it, and how it works is actually really interesting. A normal guitar will have a pickup which takes the vibration of the string and converts those vibrations into a signal that can be then sent out to an amplifier. The Sustaniac taps off some of that signal, and the circuit in the back of the guitar processes it, and then a 9-volt battery powers it into this driver. The driver converts that signal back into vibrational energy and vibrates the string. So it's just one big circle. The string vibrates, it's picked up, and then those vibrations are then passed out through the Sustaniac again, which is powered through a 9-volt battery. It's got 3 modes. Just your standard note sustain, sustain and feedback, and just feedback. The sustain could last forever, or at least until the battery dies. Now there's one more ingredient we're going to need for this to work. Crystal glasses. Normal glass is really hard to break with sound because it would be pretty inconvenient for you to go to a bar and for the band to blow up your drink in your hand. So crystal wine glasses are thin and they tend to have tiny little imperfections in them, which is great because that's what we're going to be playing against. Crystal glasses are expensive though, so do something that's free and like the video, please. Thank you. I bought these second hand and the previous owner definitely did not wash these, which is great. I got a selection of white wine and red wine glasses because they're different sizes. The white wine is much more higher pitched than the red wine. So I opted to go for the red wine because I have to sustain this note for a long time and high pitched sounds are just gonna really annoy me. We put the glass directly in front of the speaker and turn the amp to 10 on half power. That is 25 watts on a valve amp. It's loud. The straw moved. We were hitting the right note, but it was nowhere near the amount of movement I was getting when I was using my voice. So I switched the guitar into feedback mode on the sustainer, just to see if that would do anything. Nothing. Switch it back to normal mode. A little bit of movement. Interesting. Well, we've got the right note and we've got the sustain, so volume is the only thing standing in our way. We need to go louder. Health and safety announcement first. Don't try this at home. I'm neither trained nor professional, but I did use proper professional earplugs and then put noise cancelling headphones over my ears when I did this. Also, no furry friends with sensitive ears were in the building at the time. Playing at volumes like... It's hailing. Playing at volumes like these can be seriously dangerous and cause permanent hearing loss, so don't try this without any protection. I threw this dB meter out in front of the amp just to pick up how loud we were. And see that number? That means loud. Bring me up slow so I can get the note. We lost our straw. The straw flying out of the glass and flying around like that means that that glass is vibrating a lot. We're doing everything right. But it hasn't broken yet. It's not breaking. The only thing that I can think that's holding us back is the distance that the glass is away from the actual source of the sound, the speaker. It's a millimeter away from the grill cloth, but even then, there's still a good few inches between the center cone of the speaker and the actual glass. When you're doing this with your voice, your mouth is right up close to the glass. We just couldn't get that close with this setup. But my resolve has never been stronger. Took a break, went back the next day, because I knew that if we kept hitting this glass at this volume, it would break. It had to, right? It might be a good time to talk about just how loud that is. Now, dB ratings charts aren't really consistent, but it is somewhere between a rock concert and a jackhammer. If you were exposed to this volume without hearing protection, your ears could be damaged in seconds. Did you hear that? That was the sound of glass cracking. I didn't notice at first. But what I did notice was the same note that I'd been playing for 2 days wasn't vibrating the glass near as much. The straw wasn't moving like it wasn't flying out of the glass. Something was different. I didn't know what was wrong. I tried changing the settings of the amp. Treble and bass, turn to 10. There was again, another clicking, cracking sound. So I decided to inspect the glass. Let's see if we can show this on camera. We've cracked it. But it's not vibrating the same as it was. So I decided to keep going. The note hasn't changed drastically from what it was when the glass was fully intact. It's just vibrating weird now. I tried turning the glass to see if that would help. Alright, we'll try one more time. And after this, you could hear more cracking. Our crack is bigger. Let's see if we can... A tiny bit bigger. At this point, hearing the same note over and over again becomes a little tedious, so I took a break and then decided to go back at it and hope that we could expand the crack a little bit more. And then this happened. Boom. Broken glass. It's nowhere near as dramatic as I was hoping for, and probably the least satisfying break it could possibly be, but it does prove the point that you can break a glass with guitar. Now I know what you're probably thinking. Why am I not subscribed to this guy yet? And I don't know, you should be. Click subscribe. We did it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.